This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boston Capital, Tutor Steve on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tap in, birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here. 8% Lowry at 8K is that's like our favorite play on every side. Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
Why the fuck would I not bet Rory?
Good evening, everybody. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with Twitterless Steve on the Hold the Green podcast with a new intro video. Cam, pretty sharp. I know I made fun of you for being about a minute, but I like that. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, that was a pretty spiffy little intro video there. That is why we brought Cam with us over to
That's right.
Inside Sports, making the big bucks with us. Well, I was disappointed, though, that you didn't include us touting Legion 13 as the lock of the century. Now, that is definitely a missed opportunity because that we are never, ever, ever going to see a price like that again.
Yeah, no, that was generational, as they call it.
Yeah, that was. We'll talk about LIV at the end, but finally, we will actually talk about the PGA Tour this week. We ignored it on Saturday night for the most part, other than maybe talking about what's going to happen on Sunday. But Capper, you are live. You had the norovirus. Why don't you walk everybody through what the last 24 hours like for you?
Fucking miserable, man. Absolutely miserable. Like, I mean, everybody who's had it knows it's just fucking, I mean, it's awful. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I thought I was going to die like that. Like, it was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I sent you that meme. It's like lava coming out of my ass. That's exactly what it was. It was terrible. It was absolutely awful.
It was bad. Are you now going to give Ludwig maybe a free pass for playing 36 holes at Torrey Pines, going through that?
Yeah. Didn't I already give him a pass?
No, you kind of didn't.
I think I gave him a pass.
It was half-hearted. I kind of guilted you into it.
That's fine. Okay. That's how most of my nice stuff happens anyway. I get guilted into it.
That is true. I do have to pull out the sweetheart teddy bear out of you occasionally. So yeah, because otherwise you'll just be motherfucking everybody.
That's right.
Right. There you go. All right. Well, we have a busy show tonight. We will go over the odds board at Torrey Pines for the Genesis Invitational. We will go over the tip chart in a little bit. We'll also cover some LIV Adelaide picks at the end of the podcast. If you missed it on Saturday night, we actually went over the Grange Golf Club in Adelaide. Showed a couple pictures, showed some Google Earth images, showed some past leaderboards. If you want a preview of that, go check that out. But I will kick it off to Capper. Let's transition to the Genesis Invitational back at Torrey Pines. There's been a lot of talk about the weather this week and the different course conditions. So I know we just had the tournament about a month ago. Are you kind of deviating a little bit what you typically do at Torrey Pines, or because of what is happening with the weather, are you maybe going a slightly different direction than what you did?
Just a slightly different direction. That's it. Just just a slightly different direction. Definitely focusing on bombers, right? I mean, I think we normally do anyway, but I feel like, I don't know, I've listened to some more stuff, seeing how I laid in bed fucking all day yesterday, or I was on the can. So I felt like I listened and read some more stuff, and I feel like people are playing it. They're like approaching it like it was 2 weeks ago. Like they're not factoring in how wet it's going to be and how long it's going to play. Are we I don't understand.
Well, we are a very sharp community.
It just confused me because I honestly might have heard it one other place, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Number two, you basically have an amateur weatherman in me, who is basically
true.
Always constantly looking at the wind finder forecast, looking at angles for the weather, course conditions. Andy obviously is great with the course conditions too. He's been saying this all week. Yeah, it is a different golf course this time around. We are not playing the North course. Everything is on the South, but still, even though it's only 72 guys on the South course, we are still doing threesomes, split tees on Thursday. And Capper, let me tell you something. Based on what the last tee time is at the end of the day on Thursday and the broadcast window, they are budgeting for 5.5 hour rounds. Are you freaking kidding me, people?
I don't. How are they doing that? So listen, I haven't even looked at the tee times yet because I got back from baseball practice at like 8:30, slammed dinner, poured a drink, ran in here, got my screen set up, and so I haven't even looked at the tee times. So they're going off 3 at a time, split tees. How in the world could it be fucking 5.5 hours?
Well, because number one, it's going to play probably pretty difficult. It's going to play pretty long too. It's going to be cold. The weather's not going to be great on Thursday, but these guys are snails. They're absolute snails out there. The fact that we can't get these guys out around in less than 5 hours, for God's sakes, it's freaking like, what are we doing? They keep saying there's no pace of play issue. I understand Torrey Pines, but these are professional fucking golfers. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it shouldn't be taking 18 to 20 minutes a hole.
No,
What are we doing?
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, the 3-ball parlays will be coming, Dirt McGirt. I'm gonna do some for this one because I've been laid off him for the last couple of weeks and I kind of miss him.
That's true. You also need to post all your plays in the Discord.
I will. I'll post them. I'll post everything up tomorrow.
I know.
I get busy, man. I forget.
You're busy.
Solo
I'm
dadding.
busy.
I've been solo dadding. Like it's been a lot, man.
You sound like you're the only one with this problem, sir. Okay.
But,
you're on the can and you just post it, and then there you go. You're done. Everyone wants to know what you're up to on Thursdays with your 3-ball parlays. Okay.
It's true. I think I put like the last one I posted went fucking 0 for 5. And you know how I get when something happens with that? I stop fucking. I stop.
Listen, that can be valuable though. All right. If you're on a cold, it's either be on a cold streak or be on a hot streak. Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Because regardless, you're going to make somebody money. Or someone's going to fade your ass badly, or they'll be like, this guy's hot. We're going to ride him and we're going to ride him to success there. So
that's it.
Just post your plays. You don't want to be in the middle. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know.
These guys in the middle.
I know. It's the worst place to be.
Yeah. But regardless, back to this golf course. So let's give a summary of what's happened over the last couple of weeks. So they had a big drought of, the West. It's all the West courses we played so far in the Pacific. It's all been, they haven't gotten rain in a bunch of months. Excuse me, firm greens. Well, finally, San Diego, a couple weeks ago, got about a 1/4 inch of rain. They got another 1/4 inch of rain last week. And now what we saw all last year, this atmospheric river, which basically is just the Pacific Ocean vomiting like you did all yesterday onto Southern California, is just going to vomit a bunch of rain on the golf course. So it reportedly rained today. It is supposed to rain tomorrow. And then there is a flood watch for La Jolla from Thursday afternoon all the way until Friday afternoon with some wind as well. They're getting about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch more of rain during that time. It's already kind of be a waterlogged golf course. It is going to be impossibly long this year for this edition of the Genesis at Torrey Pines. It's going to play very long. It's going to be a little colder too, at least the first 2 days. The weekend looks nice though, but still going to be a soft golf course. Not a lot of wind. Going to be hard to hit fairways, and this kind of just is a recipe for just bombs away at this point. For a lot of reasons. Number one, hard to hit fairways. If you got a shorter hit in the rough, these are long approach shots. You're not going to hit the green. Two, because the greens are soft. Bombers who can still get it out of the rough onto the green can still keep it on the green because the balls are receptive, or the greens are receptive there. So, and it's going to be just way longer than usual. So, it probably narrows down the field to a certain skill set that's probably going to win. That's not to say that a Colin Morikawa type can't do what he did at TPC Harding Park at the 2020 PGA Championship and just have an absolutely unreal driving week like he did and put the lights out and beat out a bunch of bombers like he did on that leaderboard. But the path is very narrow. Guy like that has a very, shallow little margin for
slim
error.
Margin for error. Yeah, slim margin for error.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be one of these big bad drivers that ultimately prevails at the end of the day. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you on that. And my thing is like I'm going to pick your brain on it because I couldn't figure out how to find specific carry distance versus driving distance, where I know a lot of these little short knockers play on a firm course and it skews their stats and it makes them seem like they're longer off the tee than they really are. And if they're not going to get any rollout out of here, I want to make sure that I'm seeing the forest through the trees. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, the rabbit hole on BetSperts, if you make a model there, they do.
I tried. I went to go look at yours and I couldn't. I don't know if one of yours set. I was trying to keep in mind.
Well, I didn't have it. I use different parameters, but I kind of know I just know these guys. I'm like, all right, who's like a faker when it comes to driving distance and who actually like has it.
Okay.
I don't need carry distance in my model to
Right.
really know who's who.
Sorry, buddy.
But you can find it there. Yeah, you can find it there. You can also find it just on the PG Tour website. They have carry distance there.
But it's not. That's not. It's like really clunky to go through and like figure it out.
It's really
on the PGA Tour
clunky.
website.
It's literally just a list of guys ranked 1.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about getting to the information I need through that fucking website.
Okay,
not whatever. Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, you can add it to your model if you need to.
All right,
it is there. So, that's really all I got. It's gonna be, other than that though, like, so I put together my BetSports model. I changed, I boosted up driving distance a little bit. I boosted up long iron play. Discounted a little bit on putting this week because I just think those two attributes right there are going to be most important. I looked back at a couple of examples of what at least the first 2 rounds were at Torrey Pines. Probably going to be a little more difficult approach shots, a little more difficult around the green. So I changed those parameters a little bit too, because in normal conditions, at least the degree of difficulty is not as much at Torrey Pines. When you get those types of conditions, we're going to at least get for the first 2 days, it flips on itself. The weekend, though, looks pretty benign, though. But again, just because the golf course can be so soft, it's probably going to turn out a lot like that 2024 Torrey Pines leaderboard day, where it was pretty benign all week, but it was soft. And there's just a lot of guys who drove it pretty far, ended up dominating that leaderboard. So,
yeah, it was pretty. I mean, a lot of guys were double digits under par, too.
In 2024?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there were. But they actually, the over-under this week is -8. Maybe we'll get to that at the end. It's -8.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's kind of what I was. So I mean, if you look, 20 guys finished -8 or under in 2024. If we think it's going to play the same or relatively close to it.
Well, one thing to keep in mind too, they played the North, so you have that in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's part of it. And then you do have the first 2 days, which are going to be pretty tough condition. You got some wind. So usually when you get some wind and cold and rain, the average score at Torrey Pines South is usually like +2.5 or so, +2. Now that's with a weaker field. So put the best players in the world in those conditions, probably shave off half a stroke. There probably plays like +1.8, +0.2 at that, or +2 at that point still.
Okay.
That's going to knock it down. Probably over the weekend though, that's when you're probably going to see, it's still going to play pretty long.
Yeah.
I bet it would probably be average score still under par at that point. So netting out probably around +1, +1.25 for the entire tournament.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you just take the first 2 rounds and the last 2 rounds, probably evens out a little bit. And then usually the winning score gains between like 13 and 14 strokes on the field.
Yeah.
So that gets you about -9, -10.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So I might dabble with the under, because again, it just only takes one guy to do pretty well. I mean, we saw it last week at Dietrich at Phoenix.
Yeah.
That the winning score probably was 18.5.
Yeah, no shit.
And he smashed it, but he was the only guy to do it.
Nobody else did.
No, no one else did. So but it only takes one guy.
Yeah.
So I probably, when that prop comes, I'm probably going to dabble with the under. I'm hoping actually people overreact and it goes up to like 280.5, 281.5.
Yeah.
And then I'm definitely slamming the under.
Yeah. It's almost like waiting for the under in a football game, waiting for the public to bet the over and then get it down at the last minute.
Yeah. Or we could do what we did at Pebble,
and move
so it started out at -19.5 over under, and then everybody lit it up on Thursday. And then they completely overreacted and reset it to -26. We all slammed the over.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's right. Nice middle.
Yes, that was great. So,
that's a great middle. The best middle I ever did was you remember when all the Steelers Ravens games were always 3 no matter what? Like, didn't matter. There was a stretch, and I ended up getting 3.5 on each side, and I made a pretty decent sized play to try to middle it, and I fucking middled it. And I couldn't believe I did it. It was very, very random for me to do something like that back then.
There you go. I middled the winning score of the 2021 Masters.
Really?
That was fun. I did. I bet the over on before the tournament. I bet the under, because even though it was windy the first day and a half, they set it like I think -8.5 or so. I'm like, that's probably too low. Then Hideki ran it up on Saturday, and they reset to like 12 under.
Oh, I think I vaguely
And I
remember
think
this,
it
yeah.
ended minus 11 winning score. So that was fun middling that one.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. That was a good Masters, even if we didn't cash Decky.
No. Did you have Xander in that Masters?
I did.
You did.
Mhm.
Yes. I think you didn't bet. I think we went on a big rant about Xander for like 30 minutes after that.
Yeah,
Like it was
that sounds
no
right.
talk about Hideki. He was only focused on Xander, how big of a loser he was.
Yep.
And then we
Correct.
continued that conversation for 3 more years.
That's right.
And then he finally put us in a body bag of Valhalla and
Listen,
Roadster.
wow.
So
Yeah. Well, whatever. Good for Xander.
Yeah.
Listen,
All right.
Thomas Dietrich wins. Xander wins. It's the whole world's upside down. What's happening?
that's true. Losers are finally winning. So, all right, let's bring in our esteemed producer, Cameron Kerr, and let's try and pick who the most popular golf outrights are this week. Hi, Cam. How we doing?
What is up? I'm doing great.
How was the Super Bowl for you?
It was fantastic. Josh asked us for our favorite plays for the Super Bowl, like our favorite props. And I just said the first thing that came to my mind. And he's like, give me a reason. I was like, all right, Jalen Hurts, first touchdown, plus 650, tush push was my only reason.
Not bad.
And it happened again. It was the same exact thing that happened in 2022. There was a pass down the field. He fell down at the 1 yard line and they pushed it in. And it was heartbreaking both times and then very exciting both times.
Yeah, I had Saquon for his touchdown, thinking it was his birthday, and they give him the fucking ball. But I forgot Sirianni's an asshole. But you know what? Sirianni is a good guy in my book because they destroyed Kermit and his fucking gang of Muppets. Like, they're so happy. I have never rooted for Philly so hard in my life because they're trash people. But I reckon I'm trash people as well. Boston sports fans are also trash people. So I recognize trash when I see trash. And I love how much they love their people. And yeah, I fucking hate the Chiefs. So I'd say go Birds more in my life in the last week than I'll ever say ever again.
Did you pop a bottle of champagne like the Miami Dolphins do?
No, I didn't go that far.
No.
Our old coworker Ryan Kramer posted a picture of his Jahan Dotson first TD.
Oh no,
like 90-1, and he had $50 on it. Like, and the same thing happened to them the year before. They were like all over the first TD, and the same thing happened to, I think it was Sean. But yeah, it was really good. Had the
tough.
Eagles too, and over 3.5 field goals, and the Eagles got 4 themselves. So it was really good.
There you go. All right, nice little successful Super Bowl for you. All right, let's move on to the tip chart though. So if you guys just tune in, or I don't know, living under a rock the last month and a half or so. So Capper and I go back and forth. We try and pick who the most popular outright bets are on the Golf Tips Checker Twitter handle. Usually there's 7 or 8 guys. I disclosed to everybody that I know who the number 1 tip golfer is this week because it was said in Discord. It is Taylor Pendrith, the free square. We probably would have got that anyway. So he is off the board. So Cam, how many other golfers are on the tip chart this week?
There are 7 other golfers on the tip chart this week.
Okay. All right. Capper, you have been killing me in this game. So the honor goes to you. Go first.
Okay. I'll go with Morikawa.
Colin Morikawa, 14-1, number 5.
Okay. Interesting. No, actually, I'm not that surprised. You know,
because not everybody's doing. Yeah, not everybody's doing the long bomber thing. He's got a great course history here. So,
okay, maybe I should factor that into guys I am picking, but I am going to go with a guy that seems like everybody wants to bet, really wants to win, good history at Torrey Pines. How about Will Zalatoris?
That's a good one.
Will Zalatoris, 45-1, number 4. So we have number 5 and number 4.
All right, I got my groove back in the thing. All right, I think I'm starting to figure out the people at this point.
You're at a big disadvantage by not being on Twitter. Like that's how I get the vibe, you know, of who's going to be on this chart.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a good thing though, because then I can just make my own decisions. I'm not influenced by anybody. So
yeah.
All right, Capper, go back to you.
Unfortunately, I think is Wyndham on this chat.
Wyndham Clark, 60-1, number 3.
Yeah,
that's a bad CLV at that point, based on what you could add him at. All right.
It's
Let's
spicy,
go.
Steve, right?
I'm a little spicy. Syracuse's was awful. I was watching that trash team before this. They lost to a 1-11 Miami team in the ACC. They are fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Can't
College
believe
basketball sucks. Who cares?
Yeah, well, you know what? They suck too. All right. How about Mr. Tony Finau?
Oh, that's a good one.
Tony Finau is not on here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's really good here, and he showed a little bit of Pebble.
Yeah, I still
Surprising.
don't. I'm still on the don't play Tony Finau in a field with good golfers in it though. So I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to get there.
I mean, he won a Liberty National. He won the Northern Trust, and that had some good golfers. So he can do it. That was 4 years ago, but he can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Broke my
Maybe
heart.
I have
I
like
can't
Mexico in my head.
I mean, yeah, that's a trash field. He beat a lot
Yeah.
of trash in Houston. He beat a lot of trash at the Rocket. Well, I mean, he beat Pendrith and Cantlay and Cam Young, but Cam Young's trash. So he beat trash at Rocket Mortgage, beat trash at the 3M. See, you know what? Yeah, he does win in trash fields. I will give you that.
All right. So what do we got? We got 1, 4, 5. What?
So we got 1, 3, 4, and 5.
So we got 2, 6, 7, 8. So
we need,
So I will go. Man, it's a toss up. Two fat guys. Let's go with Bobby McIntyre.
Bobby Mack not on here. Strike one.
All right.
Okay. All right. How about the dude that left everybody with a great impression in the last tournament? We saw a lot of them when we didn't want to see him. Let's go with Justin Thomas. Let's go Justin Thomas.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Justin Thomas not on here.
I think he thinks he thought you were going to go with Spieth.
Oh.
No way he's the most tipped after fucking one decent week. I'll go with my other fat guy. I'll go with Lowry.
No.
Okay.
Uh-oh. All right, we're
so
back
2 and 2. 2 strikes.
All right, Steve.
All right, I'll go with a guy I bet. How about Adam Scott?
Adam Scott, 66 to 1, number 8.
Okay.
There we go.
I'll go Danny Berger.
Daniel Berger not on here.
See, I heard lots of people talking about him. I couldn't understand why.
So we got
that was my strike 3. You got that one.
There's 3 left. Let's go with. Are people betting Victor Hovland again this week?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Number 2, 45 to 1.
All right, they're liking the
that
putter
one shocked
team.
me a little bit.
Look, it's Victor Hovland. It's 60 to 1. He's a drug to a lot of people,
and we're all a bunch of fucking sickos.
They are. I think there still is a lot of FOMO with missing out on a Hovland 60 to 1 ticket. I feel like it's like when Brooks ever drifted to like 40, 45 to 1 in a major. It's like, all right, I just have to bet him because I'm gonna feel stupid. I think there's a little bit of that with Hovland.
And then we saw him with 8 putters on the fucking green today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's undecided on his putter for the week.
Oh,
it's Tuesday.
All right. How about another guy I bet that is popular in the Twitter sphere? How about Minwoo Lee?
That is who I thought you were going to go to when you were talking about.
Okay.
They put him on TV a lot on Sunday because they did. He was a player's favorite or a people's favorite.
Yeah.
So Minwoo Lee, number 7, 55 to 1.
One left.
Can I do this? There's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on this one. Okay. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser.
People bet losers, Steve.
People do bet losers. How about this loser who showed something over the weekend? How about Cam Young?
No.
Oh, that's what I thought it was going to be too.
Y'all are going to be mad about this one.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Number 6, Keegan Bradley.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I get it. Long irons, straight. I guess.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of pop. He's been driving it really good too.
Yeah. Last thing before I hop off, Steve, you saw the video of the grass, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I mean, I literally I see that
Did Steve
every
see a video of
time there
grass?
is a golf course with, oh, look at this rough. Like, I feel like I've seen that over and over and over. Like, how many takes did it take for Ben Griffin to get one buried like that? I like that. I like to know
Yeah,
that.
that's a
you know,
good
because
point.
sometimes you throw in the ball, you know, and just kind of pops up a little bit, doesn't really sit quite right. You know, I'm gonna say over under maybe 3.5, 4 attempts just to get the social media activations there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was like,
find a nice little dense patch.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, the social media fakeness is funny. I told you I went to that Zach Bryan concert. Sorry, because I wanted to feel super old, and he's the young one, right? Who dated that Brianna Chicken Fry girl. So I went to his concert because I wanted to see Jason Isbell, and there's two girls, probably my oldest daughter's age, probably about 21. They each took a selfie, and then spent the next, I am not fucking exaggerating, 45 minutes editing this fucking photo and changing the light and changing this and that. I was like, this is a fucking disease. Like this, it was the craziest thing I ever saw. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it's insane. But yeah, so social media.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
Sorry.
Thank you for the PSA there.
You're welcome.
face soon.
Well, don't let your daughters get on social media too early, boys. That's
No,
what I'm trying to tell you. As a dad of 4 girls, trust me.
There. All right, Cam, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Let's go to the odds board
Well,
then.
Before we go to the odds board, let's just we don't ask for a lot. Go subscribe to the YouTube page for our podcast, Inside Sports Podcast. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That'll be really great. I don't even think I've ever asked to go to Spotify or Apple. Go give us a quick follow, review, 5 stars. That'll help us with the algorithm, help us catch up to some of the bigger podcasts. And we want to extend our reach. And of course, listen. Don't be dumb. Come be a Discord member. I'm telling you right now, it is the place to be. Nothing but golf sickos screaming and yelling on Thursday, 9:30 in the morning. You'll feel right at home. The tournament's over at 9:45, and then it carries on until Sunday when the tournament's actually over. It's a beautiful place. I love it.
Yeah, honestly, I have FOMO sometimes, like just wondering what's going on in Discord if I missed anything and what the chatter is. There's a lot of good shtick, but there's a lot of good, intelligent talk in there too. It's a good community. A lot of knowledgeable golf guys, a lot of guys who just, we're rooting for each other's bets. There's no shit on anybody. It's a good time. It's great.
It is great. I literally almost crashed my car on the way home from baseball practice because that's like an hour and a half. It was 210 messages. And the way the stupid app works is if the app closes, it takes me all the way to the bottom again. And then I got to go back and find. So what I'll do is in my brain, if I could put my phone down, I'm like, I was at 611. And then I'll scroll back up to 611. And then I'll go all the way down until I can finally catch up.
Yep. There you go. All right. Let's get the odds board.
Come on.
So let's start with Scotty.
All right.
Plus 360. Up a little bit from last week.
Stinky.
Obviously we didn't talk about him because we did the show before the final round.
Yeah.
So how much did you catch of his disastrous back 9? And
I told you I watched a ton on Sunday. I didn't watch a lot on Saturday.
All right. So what do you make of that?
I don't know. Maybe he missed that. Did he miss on 8 or 9? He missed on 8 or 9. This little bunny putt. And I feel like he might have just thrown it in after that. Kind of got frustrated.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Do you subscribe to the theory that if one or a couple little things go wrong for Scotty, then he just completely melts and that's just the end of him?
I don't know. That's probably strong, right? Like completely melts is probably strong. But yeah, like I feel, man, I say that, but you need imagination to get around Augusta. But yeah, I don't think he does well with adversity. You're talking about a silver spoon kid, just kind of,
okay.
It's kind of from, I don't know. I just kind of feel in general that coming up that way doesn't make you handle adversity well. And you see that in a lot of athletes, right? Not just golf, right? AAU kids in basketball and things like that. Once one thing goes wrong, when you're constantly the best player at all times, the first time you realize somebody might be better than you, it can cause a problem, right? And so stuff like that is, yeah, I can see it. And man, he melts down on the putting green sometimes. You don't see a whole lot of it on the course. I think he internalizes it pretty well. But yeah, I don't think he deals with adversity very well.
I mean, there's some prominent examples of big time spots where a couple things went wrong and it snowballed.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago, I bet him at St. Andrews at the Open, and he just could not he was missing a bunch of like 6-7 footers, and then just completely imploded on the back nine on Saturday, just ended his tournament there.
Yeah.
Obviously we had with Pinehurst last year, where things just went sideways. He couldn't handle the greens and was basically a non-factor the rest of the tournament. Royal Troon the final day, missed some shorty.
He's not an open player, man.
No, he isn't, but he let a lot of that stuff get to him, and he melted a little bit on the back nine. Yeah, and then he had Phoenix. What happened in the back nine? You know, he missed a couple putts. He was behind a cactus and just completely mailed it in. You're right. After that, but as somebody just mentioned here, Jaden at RBC had a mini meltdown and came back and won.
It's true.
So I don't know. I mean, I think for those who want to criticize him for that take, it's valid. There's a lot of data points. Maybe we do hold him to a little bit too high of a standard because, after all, I mean, he won everything last year. He had the best season since Tiger.
Yep.
You know, and he's human at this point. So, well, let's talk about him on this golf course, though. So we got 7,700 yards, going to play more like 8,000 yards. You have narrow fairways.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have as much pop as you think.
No, shorter than Scotty Scheffler.
Yes. So let me ask a question. So this setup where it's long, wet, narrow, like Andy said it on his show, like it just set up for Rory McIlroy to win by 10.
Yeah, I know.
And typically in the matchup market, excuse me, like you see Scotty Scheffler like minus 220 favor and minus 190 favor over like whoever else. Yeah. So this week, though, you got Scotty. Best price I can find is only minus 134 over Rory plus 112, or you can get Rory plus 120 over against Scotty minus 155. Are you tempted to take Rory at plus money this week against Scotty?
I mean, I wouldn't even if Hard Rock offers it, I'm gonna take it.
Okay, all right. Talk a little bit more about that. Why do you want to take? Why do you feel like this is the week for Rory to take him down in the matchup?
So look, it's definitely hard, like going back to back, right? He didn't play this week, obviously, but he won last time out at Pebble, and he wanted a golf course people don't think or didn't think fit him, right? But Kobe said it, I think, on the Wednesday Night Wallace show, like it's not a course that fits you until it does, and he went out and proved that. The way he chose his shots around Pebble, I don't know, it kind of just changed a little bit for me. Like Rory used to do like the Brett Favre like hero ball shit. Like try to make the perfect shot and like crush the ball and, you know, not do the smart thing particularly. I don't know. Maybe something's changed, right? Because he mentioned something about watching Scotty last year and trying to learn something from him and how he goes about picking his golf course. So if you combine that with just a built-in advantage that he has with his fucking carry distance, and it's not wedges, you know, it's mid-irons, which he's fucking better. I feel like he's better with than his wedges. So, yeah, I mean, long, wet, mean golf course, like, yeah, it speaks to me like Rory. And yeah, I mean, Scotty might be human, right? I mean, he might be. Look, it might be stupid, but if I can get plus money on a guy who I think is at a coin flip at particularly a golf course like this, maybe not at some other golf courses, but at a golf course like this is a coin flip on who's going to come out on top. I'll take the plus money. You know me, I always do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only concern is it seems like when we like write off Scotty is like, oh
yeah, I know, I'm terrified. Yeah, I get it.
Then yeah, he puts us in a body bag, and I made mention earlier like Morikawa did the blueprint at Harding Park of just he hit every fairway that week, and because he's just such a great iron player, he's able to take advantage of it. Scotty has one of those weeks where he hits a lot of fairways. Like,
yeah, I mean, look what he did on the front nine at Waste Management. He was fucking 3 feet from every goddamn pin. It was crazy.
Right. So, but I'm still going to take the faith of just like I've seen this golf course over and over for Rory and see him just eat this up over and over and over. So yeah, like I'm favoring Rory over Scotty. I think most people are favoring, at least in our community, favoring Rory over Scotty. So the one I did, I mean, I debated doing the single bullet on Rory.
I did too.
I didn't get there. I don't want to, and it's just a hang up I have.
We lose bets, and that's why Kobe DeBose wins bets because
but I saw and I kind of previewed this in Discord a little early in the week. We had a good discussion about betting card construction, just how you do it, and you know the ability of
the 7X.
If something isn't, if something isn't working for you, to
Change it.
pivot and change and evaluate. And I've been doing that, with positionals. I've specifically been doing that because for whatever reason, it has not been as good for me this year. It used to be a lot better for me. I don't know if it's just my process or whatever, but I saw Rory, and maybe it's just because I'm getting kind of cute with this. I'm like, I had Charlie Hoffman my positional card last week. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
So I saw Rory though, minus 110 for a top 10. I'm like, should I just take that as a layup?
Minus 110.
Yeah, that was the best price I could find. It's between like minus 125, minus 120 for a top 10.
Dude,
I'm
I'm
like in a
looking at
72 person field.
Yeah, I'm looking at 165, and
Okay.
Hard Rock was even worse.
Is that dead heats?
Yeah, include time.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, mine doesn't. So it's
Okay.
just but I still think he's going to comfortably finish inside the top 10 because I've seen him this week.
Yeah,
So
no, that's fine.
So I took that. That was
Like
that's my Rory McIlroy exposure this week. Is that it just a layup of my betting card? Hopefully, a layup of my betting card. I thought the top 20 for Scotty Scheffler the first round last week was going to be his layup, and it wasn't.
That's fair.
But I did that.
Fair.
That's my Rory.
Nobody lays a bet
exposure.
they think they're gonna lose, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's my Rory exposure on the betting card, and then I moved on from there. So
I think I'm gonna take him in the matchup. I thought about that. I don't have it available to me yet because I live in Florida, and once again, the Seminoles are fucking criminals. But I like that. I'll have to look to see what Hard Rock top 20 is. Usually, it's fucking 30 points off, and I can't bet it.
wait, Rory top 20?
Yeah, it'll be
God,
like
that's
minus
gonna be-
one. It'll be like
Oh,
minus
you're gonna-
160.
No way. You're going to pay like minus
Worse,
200.
right?
plus.
Yeah, exactly. So you know. Oh, so you're agreeing with me? Okay, I thought you were going to argue
Yeah.
with me. You know.
No, you are going to pay way. Like to give you an idea. So let me actually pull it up. So in DraftKings, Rory McIlroy top 20 is minus 340. Yeah. Do you want to make a President's Cup bet, sir?
Yeah, for real. Seriously, no, thank you. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on from there. I mean, if you want a single bullet Rory, it's plus 700,
Yeah.
plus 7. Fine.
I don't hate it.
Whatever.
Yeah, especially if you get a profit boost or whatever BK is always crying about, which I don't have access to, so I don't get it.
Yeah. What? Apparently those don't count if you hit it outright. If you boosted it.
I get profit boosts
that
from
a take?
Hard Rock, but I got to buy them with my points. They don't give me. They give me. You know where they give me profit boosts? They give me profit boosts on like the NBA and hockey, and I'm like, oh, these sports that I randomly bet on and constantly lose at, you're gonna fucking give me a profit boost at? Oh, thank you, Hard Rock. How nice of you.
There you go. All right. Let's talk about two guys who actually let's talk about three guys who people I think perceive as maybe a little soft when it comes to like weather elements, tough like settings, etc. Although Colin Morikawa is on the tip chart, so that isn't true this week. Colin, Justin Thomas, Ludwig. I guess maybe it's just in this circle you question some of their toughness.
I don't trust who's questioning Ludwig's toughness. He doesn't have a long enough. He doesn't have a long enough track record.
Last year, when he blew it at the Scottish Open, the things
That
that
was just me
came
being
out of your
angry.
mouth after
That was
that.
that was just me being angry.
Oh, you were just lashing out at that point?
Of course, you know when I lash out, you know the difference.
Okay. I think it was because that he sucked. And I think he went on a rant of you look like Tom Brady, but you'll never be Tom Brady. I think that was the general gist of it.
That sounds right. That sounds like me.
That is very much on brand for you. All right, let's leave Ludwig maybe on the side. Let's just focus on JT and Colin, two guys you think are like weenies.
Correct.
At this point.
Yes.
JT's been his on paper course histories pretty good, but it's a lot of like top 20 finishes. So it's a high floor there. Colin's been awesome here.
Yes.
But the fact that it's going to be a lot longer for Colin and his margin for error is a lot smaller. Do you like him at all this week? Is he on your betting card in capacity?
It's not on my card. So because of some sharp guys in the Discord, I'm thinking about him in DFS, but I can't put him on my card. I just can't. Like, if I miss him, I miss him. In my brain, he's not going to fit here. He's just not. Like, he can a ton of fairways. I picture him with an 8-iron where he's deadly, right? Not a 6-iron, right? That's how my brain works with him. Like, I just picture him with an 8-iron, wedges in, and hopefully he can make the putts, and that's when he can win. And look, he's had a great fucking 12-month run without a win, right? I mean, he really has. But I just can't do it if I think it's going to be that fucking long.
Okay. I dabbled a little bit in the theory of maybe Colin isn't that bad in bad weather. And it kind of got put in my face a little bit in Pebble. I mean, he was fine, but like he never really took attention for a win. I think with Colin,
I'd rather bet Colin than fucking JT.
Well, all right, so we'll stick with Colin. I could consider with Colin the possibility of if he survives the first 2 days,
Yeah,
possibly
fair enough.
live ad because
Yeah, that's fair.
weekend's going to clear up at this point.
Yeah.
The fairways will be soft, which that could benefit a guy like Morikawa because the ball will actually stay in the fairway, won't bounce into the rough at that point. But I have enough questions with the first 2 days whether I want to put him just on my outright card, which I probably won't. But for DFS, though, listen, it's basically a no cut event. They can't fool me by the fact they're going to cut 14 guys and say, "Oh, it's a cut event."
Well, bullshit. And first of all, they might not even cut 14. It's within 10 strokes.
Yeah, and at Torrey Pines, it's kind of hard to separate yourself because it's just a lot of pars and bogeys and it's like
seriously.
You know, so you might get like leaders at 6 under and top 60s like +4.
Yeah.
And then all those guys make it through. And then you only have like 7 guys who are cut, which probably is going to include like one of the chalkier guys in
that would be funny
this week, which is usually what happens. But I could see myself possibly live betting Colin if he survives the first 2 days, but I think I'm
actually I don't actually think that's probably a decent play, really. Like kind of see if he survives the bad weather, and then if the weather gets better and maybe I don't know, maybe it doesn't play as soft as we think it's gonna play over with the good weather. Like I don't know, maybe winds soft.
Well, it's definitely gonna play soft. Like it's definitely gonna play soft. It's got a lot of rain, but I could see a world where the wind calms down and then Morikawa just has a really great drive week over the weekend and he kind of sneaks up and wins it. But
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I'll leave him off my card originally. JT, though, I don't buy it. I don't buy the Sunday charge. And maybe it's because I had a bad taste in my mouth because I bet him under 68.5 on Saturday, thinking, he probably can't have that Bav and iron performance 2 days in a row. And he kind of did. He was awful on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like he started off so good and then completely melted on the back 9, which is where that's where you score.
That's where you score. Exactly. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Unfreaking believable. And came back to,
closing eagle on 18. Eagle. Yeah, because he jabbed an eagle. What was he before he jabbed the eagle? It was probably
he was like T15.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good on JT.
And that asshole took up fucking how much of our ESPN Plus time hitting fucking balls and talking about shoes? I wanted to break my fucking TV.
Well, I don't know who to blame. If PG Tour Live or him. I mean, he's who started all this, and we want more access to players.
Him.
But
nobody wants more access to these milquetoast, no personality having motherfuckers. Show me how you hit a golf shot. That's what I'm impressed with. I don't care about anything else about your personal life. Don't care.
Well, it's not even that. Like, why are you doing that in the middle of a fucking round?
Because ESPN has no fucking idea. They have Jake Marsh on the call, for fucking Christ's sake. They have no fucking clue what we want. No clue.
No, do that before round. Do that on Wednesday. They do like the Wednesday streaming from the rain. Do it then. Like, I don't need. Why are you spending 5 minutes me watching you practice in the middle of live golf? Or make it even like a split screen at that point.
So stupid. I was so angry.
All right, done going on miserable town. All right, we just need. You brought that up and it reminded me of that. So, all right. Okay. All right. So I'm good on JT this week.
Yeah, good on JT. I feel like Hideki's been playing too much golf. He hasn't been playing that well. Like kind of just hanging around.
Okay. All right. We've come now to my first outright bet.
So it's Hideki.
No, it's not Hideki.
Okay.
Okay. I bet Ludwig at 28.
Let's go. I bet
you
him
did
at,
too?
I bet him at 25, and I had to buy a 10% boost with my credits or whatever the fuck. So I'm like at 27.5. So yeah, 27.5.
All right, then why don't you talk first? Why do you like Ludwig this week?
One, he was half this number fucking 2 weeks ago. He got a stomach bug. And he clearly wasn't right. Obviously, he shot the lights out on the North course, but I mean, what did he shoot on the South course? It wasn't like terrible. It was like, oh, he's got the stomach.
Here's what I want to bring up on the South course that Friday. So he hit the ball really good that day.
Yeah, couldn't putt.
Could not make a putt.
No, couldn't putt.
They lost the greens that day. All right. It was 30-mile-per-hour winds. It was way too firm. Like it was basically unputtable greens. So I'm willing to kind of throw it out.
Exactly. Bad weather
at that point. Right? Yeah. So
long, straight, hits fairways, good with his irons. If he can putt, listen, there's a reason why we think he's going to win golf courses like this. And it's because of his profile is fucking perfect for it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's it. Like, I mean, the number was there. I was thinking it was going to drift a little bit, and then I started hearing some chatter in our Discord, and I was like, I'm just going to go bet this now before anything changes. And I love Ludwig this week.
Okay. All right. So speaking of the putting, because his Torrey putting is terrible because he had a stomach bug and played on
correct.
unfavorable greens on Friday this year. Gained putting there last year.
Yep.
Good there. Also gained putting at Pebble last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost 1 billion strokes putting at Pebble this year because apparently he was still fighting something. So we're to believe. So I agree with all those things. I'm willing to forgive at taking him basically double what he was, more than double what he was a couple weeks ago, because of all the attributes you just said. He is long. I'm looking for length this week because I think one of those types of guys is just going to be that. The long iron play is pretty good. I think he can putt on this stuff. So, I'm still going back to the formula for these signature events: either top of the board premium player, guy that has win equity with big time wins who have fallen down the odds board, or just maybe like a young up and comer where we look back on and say, hey, it's not so crazy he won, or just a bizarre weirdo course fit.
Yep. Yeah.
Like a Wyndham Clark type of quail, which I have on my card that we'll get to a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So he fits the bill, top of the board, young phenom, signature event, all the attributes I'm looking for, 28-1. That's on my card.
Love it.
Okay. All right, let's move between 30 and 50-1. So again, a lot of flavor of the weeks types down here. Talk about a couple guys you like in this range.
I guess I like Bobby. I guess I like Zalatoris.
Okay.
I didn't bet either of them. I didn't bet anybody in this range.
You didn't bet anybody in this range.
I guess I could still fit. I definitely could still fit because I got Ludwig and I got 2 super deep guys. I don't buy the Finau shit. The same reason Cam talked about. I just first of all, I know he's great here, but his driver's trash right now. And I don't trust him in big boy events. I just don't. He's never proven it. And listen, he could stick me in a locker this week. That's fine. I'm not doing it 40-1. Just not doing it. Pendrith, I get everything about it. In my brain, he's still Taylor Pendrith. And I know a ton of sharp people who are on him, but I'm not sure if it's a bit or not, or they're really like believing him. Bobby Mack, I think, is in good form. He kind of fits in here a little bit. He has it longer than I thought. What was it? I was looking at his long irons. I don't feel like his long irons were that good.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're fine. Like
they're fine.
But listen, I love Bobby Mack, and I mean, look, he's fine. I'm not betting fucking Spieth at 40-1 after one good outing. And of course he loves. Zalatoris fits this place. Long and straight, good with his long irons, can't putt worth a shit. Maybe he can get hot. I like Zalatoris out of this whole group. I don't trust Lowry to make putts. Straka feels like burning out. Never a Sam Burns guy, ever. Jason Day, maybe. I'll wait on Hovland. If I miss it, I miss it.
Okay. All right. So I only bet one guy in this range too. But I had the capacity on my card to add one more in this range. And maybe you can help me out with that.
All right. So who'd you bet?
All right. So I went back to Rasmus again this week. I bet him last week. Look, Sunday was ugly. It was not a good back nine. He had a really ugly double on Saturday as well. But he basically lived up to my expectations last week. I made him my staff pick. He was my one and done pick. Didn't work out in the end though, but I feel like I would be foolish to hop off at still a reasonable price of 45-1 in a much stronger field. I'll give you that, but also one where it just fits that he's great with the distance. The iron play has been tremendous. Yeah, he's been really shitty around the green. That's the big, knock on him, but he's been in a lot of tough situations over the Euro Tour. He's proven himself. I felt like he showed at least pretty good for about 50 holes, 54, 56 holes last week.
Yeah.
And then melted. But I believe in the kid. 45-1. I could still put it on the card. Yeah. I did that.
I'm fine with that.
One guy I don't think I'm gonna bet. I bet him for a top 20, and I know a lot of sharp people are on him. I'm not gonna bet Taylor Pendrith outright. I just, at the end of the day, I like him. I love his profile. I just don't see myself betting Taylor Pendrith to win this event. I'm just not.
Yeah, I'm with
So
you.
that's it. But I bet him top 20. He's still on the card at like plus 150. Take him there. If the number one tip guy this week wins,
So
I will
be it.
tip there. My cats will a lot of
Exactly.
people in ISN. Great bets. I'm just not going that way. So here's the guys I'm considering.
Okay.
This isn't really real considering, but I just need to note this. There are some sharp folks this week who have pounded Tommy Fleetwood's number on some sharp books. And I'm
Crazy.
trying to figure out what the rationale is.
Bad weather.
But it's just it sparks my curiosity. Like, what do they know that I don't know?
Bad weather. If Dietrich can finally win, maybe Fleetwood can finally win. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Possibly. Fleetwood's never really been good here. I have him losing strokes tee to green, although it's only the US Open. But I also feel like that's a telltale sign of like he just doesn't play this event. Now he's usually over in the Middle East
Yeah,
for this event.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The fact that he lacks pop off the tee. The long iron, like the iron play is good, but the long iron play is not great.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm probably good on that.
I'm good on Tommy. I remember. So you remember when I first got out of the hospital after a heart attack, and that was the bet I laid at the Canadian Open, and that motherfucker almost killed me again.
Yeah. Okay.
that was good from then on. That was my rock bottom moment with Tommy.
I have more faith in Tony Finau than you do, but I'm also a Finau apologist. So
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm good on it. I think that might be just positional too for me.
Yeah. I looked at
That
it.
might be just top 20 or something and just move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the two really I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Zalatoris.
Yeah, I like Zalatoris.
So you bet him at Pebble a couple weeks ago, and I pushed back on, well, because you're like, oh, he's a really good putt putter. Well, on slower greens, he's not quite as good. And actually, he gained putting for the week. He
did all right.
He did all right. So point for you, but he still finished T48. So
yeah,
you won the battle. I won the war.
Exactly.
But he played all right at Amex. He has seemed like he's gotten, well, I thought he gained some distance. Although at Pebble, it's hard to see.
You can't gauge that.
Yeah, you can't gauge
It's
that.
tough to gauge. It's tough to gauge the Pebble stuff. It really is. Just because that weather was so bad, it could see that. So therein lies the problem with stats, right? So in 6 months from now, when we're looking at these things, we're going to completely forget that 2 rounds of this were completely fucked by the wind and the rain, and it's still going to affect their long-term stats. There should be a way that you should be able to kind of like grading on a curve, right? Throw out your best, throw out your worst. And that's how you should be able to come with like the true number, right? Take away your spike, take away the worst week, and kind of see where you're at.
Well, that's why you guys kind of understand things in context. Like, for example, I know looking at Ludwig's recent approach numbers, they're garbage because of one round.
Yeah, but I'm saying we know that now, right? But
no, I know.
Especially so for somebody like you, right? So me, it won't affect as much because I look at the shorter term, right? But you look at 72 rounds and longer, right? 72 rounds from now, you're gonna fucking remember what the hell happened at Pebble Beach.
Yeah, but for me though, like I don't care. Like I'm not like, oh, he gained 1.2 versus
No, I know
this
you're
guy
not.
plays 1.8. Like
I'm
I just care about.
I was just pointing out that's the trouble with stats, right? Because it's inherently there's going to be flawed data in there, right? It's just gonna be.
Yeah, there's flawed data and everything. Like there's always circumstances that are just the fly there. That's why I use longer term because it's a bigger sample size. There's less of a chance that like something like that could happen. So for you actually run more of the rest of shorter stuff. Like you'll see that more.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So all right. Well, Zalatoris is a consideration.
Love him.
Or do I just get really cute and look at this Hovland 60-1 and be like, look, that's a good number. A lot can happen in 2 weeks. He actually hit the ball fine in Pebble.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can fit one of those guys.
Those eight putters on the green today scare me.
It's true. But you know what else probably scared you?
But we But yeah, I was gonna say, how many times we cuss out not having the report that Matt Kuchar switched his putter or whoever switched his putter and he fucking lights out all of a sudden with a new putter because they have fake confidence because putter's all in the rear. There's no difference between what the fuck they're using as a putter.
Or I mean, probably scared a lot of people that Collins irons weren't interacting with the turf very well in Scotland.
Oh, that made me so mad.
But they missed the report that the TaylorMade guys came in and just changed up his club heads a little bit, and then he was fine.
We should have real golf reporting. Instead, we got fucking. Never mind. I'll just leave it alone.
I know we sometimes think that he changed putters, but these guys are changing out gear a lot more than you think. They're changing out wedges, changing out driver heads.
I think the number's great.
Yeah.
I think the number's great, and it makes sense. Especially if we talk about what we talk about with how bad he is around the green. This should benefit him if what we think is true. It's not tight lies, right? It's flopping out of some thicker shit. He's great with his long iron. So if they're going to be soft and more receptive, the around the green's going to be less in play. Long and straight off the tee. Fuck me, man.
Okay. All right.
You might be right. You might be right.
Did we talk about last year with Scotty? He switched to the mallet and he just started winning everything.
Yeah.
What if this is just
But that wasn't his biggest problem. His biggest problem is his fuking putter.
No, last year it was the putter. The putter was he was atrocious putting on 2023, and he was having problems at the beginning of the year. And he finally switched, I think, at Bay Hill or one of those events. Somewhere.
No, I'm talking about Hovland. I'm talking about Hovland.
But no, Hovland's putting has been a bit of a mess lately too.
Yeah, but that's not his biggest problem. It's still around the green, but it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
I think it's a good number, and we're running super late. We're almost at it now.
Okay, all right. Let's zoom through past 60-1 then. So I already mentioned he's on the tip chart. I bet Minwoo Lee. I don't love the price, but this is just distance, and this fits the Wyndham Clark just course model darling. Has been hitting his irons a little better lately.
Yeah,
I can see it. And then I
just bet Wyndham. I just bet the better Minwoo Lee. I bet Wyndham instead at a better number at 80-1.
Okay. All right. Well, I also bet Wyndham as well. I got him at 100-1.
There you go. Perfect.
Again, so what? He was first round leader last week. Friday went terrible for him. Yep. His course history here is not all that great. Shaky, but he's got that magic elixir. He's won big time events. Fits the mold of just a guy who's won big time events with
bomber putter.
Way down on the odds board.
Nope.
So I took him.
Like it.
This one's going to get the crinkled face from you. Bet Adam Scott at 90-1. I know. Iron's been pretty good. He hits it far enough.
Steve, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked you last time. When was the last time Adam Scott has won on tour?
He won at Riviera this event.
And how long ago was that?
This was before the world shut down because of
Thank you.
China.
A half a decade, sir. A half a decade. How many kids did you have a half a decade ago?
I had one.
Mm-hmm. Lots of
50% less.
Yeah, 50% less.
Yeah. Which is more than what the amount of wins that Adam Scott's had the last 5 years. Look, he has come close to winning though. Okay. He should have won the Scottish Open.
Sure should have, but didn't.
Yeah, he should have. But if there wasn't a magical sprinkler head.
That was a beautiful sprinkler head, sir. My 60-1 or 55-1 Bobby Mack. Again, was very happy with that.
Yeah, congratulations. If you were on the other side of that, how pissed
I would have lost my shit. We talked about that. We talked about it on the following podcast.
Okay. All right. He lost to Keegan at the BMW. He played well there.
Rightfully so.
So he's been sniffing around. I mean, Justin Rose finally won an event last year or a couple years ago.
Sure. Once again,
Keegan finally. All right, fine. Keegan finally won an event.
Keegan's not as old as fucking Adam Scott.
He's 38.
Yeah. Are you as old as I am? Would you be insulted if I said that?
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The 9-1 given. He's an adult who's been hitting his irons pretty well. He can get out there enough with the driver. I saw enough for 9.
Whatever. I know Andy's on him too. I know some other people are on him. So I'm fine.
And then, all right, this is going to get your approval. Okay.
Yeah.
Cam Davis continues to get disrespected in the odds market.
Let's go. 110.
And I understand why, because he's got a lot of bad, if you go 50, 75 routes, a lot of shit.
Yep.
Okay. He's a talented player. He's got some length, playing really good. Now, the course history here stinks, but I think he was just because he was a giant knucklehead.
Correct.
Through a lot of those. And he fits the mold of just I believe in this kid's ceiling.
Yep.
And which, by the way, people who are want to fact check me, I said that he might be a donkey a couple months ago. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
you can
fine.
throw that back in my face, but I think that was more me being like a overbearing dad on him because I want him to be better.
Yeah.
And finally, he is better.
Yeah.
And 110-1 for Cam Davis playing good.
Unbelievable. He was in contention at Pebble. And I liked him a lot at Pebble, with a golf course that doesn't even fit him really in theory, right? Even though he does play better at shorter courses for whatever reason. Even though, I get it. But yeah, and like we said, what we didn't know, what we wanted to put in our little brain box that we didn't want to forget, lives in Seattle. Rainy, cold. He was out there in like a half a sweater and not bothered by the conditions whatsoever, and everybody else looked like they were on the worst day of their planet.
Yeah. Well, you know what really sealed the deal for me with Cam Davis was, I think this week there's a lot of similarities at Oak Hill. A couple years ago, the 23 PGA. Narrow, long, thick rough, got a shit ton of rain.
Yep.
Like he finished 4th.
Yeah, I know.
That week.
I love it.
So I have a very recent example on a tough golf course with a lot of these similarities that he can at least finish inside the top 10 and do pretty well. So 110-1, a kid is playing well that I believe is his talent and upside, who should win more given his attributes.
And how old is he?
He's like 28, I think.
Yeah, he's still learning. I mean, look at Dietrich. How old is Dietrich? Dietrich's a little older than he is, isn't he?
Dietrich's like 30,
31.
Yeah. All right. So Cam Davis is going to be 30 next month. Still,
Yeah.
Thomas Dietrich
how dumb you were until you were 30.
Thomas Dietrich just turned 32, so I got that right.
So yeah.
All right.
It happened.
All right. So to recap, though, I bet Ludwig at 28, Rasmus Højgaard 45, Minwoo Lee at 60, Adam Scott 90, Wyndham Clark 100-1, Cam Davis 110-1, and I will add either Hovland or Zalatoris.
Yeah,
on my card.
So I got Ludwig at 25, Wyndham at 80, Cam at 110. I got room for more. I might have talked myself into Hovland when I was trying to talk you out of him. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but I'm pretty sure as I was making the case, like, oh, I get it when I did the I get it, and then I went through the case for the get it. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll have to say, but what'll make or break me will be what Hard Rock has.
Okay. All right, Cam, you got something to say?
Yeah. Can I interest you guys in Samuel Stevens this week?
No,
not for an outright.
No, not for an outright.
You really think Sam Stevens, his first win, is going to be signature event? I know he just finished second here a couple weeks ago.
Different course.
No, you're right.
But
I'm trying to decide if I put him in any of my DFS lineups.
That's a different conversation. Right? You're trying to catch flop lag with him because he was chalk next to Billy Ho. He made the cut, still didn't do shit over the weekend, so people are going to go away from him. Right? He's going to be lower owned. That's a different conversation for a different podcast. Talk to ballers at night.
Okay. All right. No, DFS, if he's low owned, fine. Yeah, I'm good with that. Not for outright.
He got
top 20 bet,
here.
maybe.
Oh, he got second. Not
at Torrey,
at this tournament, but yeah, okay.
Yes, at the golf course.
Yeah.
So
13th in 2023.
My Lord.
No, he's good at Torrey. Yeah. I mean, it fits a lot of his attributes. I'm not going to take him actually getting his first PGA Tour win here. Seriously.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nope.
Okay. All right. You want to go to LIV?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mine
are super simple. I stole one of them from you, and
you don't even want to do like chit chat or like grab?
Yeah, chit chat. I was just letting you know that I stole one of them from you, and then two of them are just my go-tos.
Okay. All right. So if you guys want a preview of Adelaide, the golf course, go back to our Saturday show. We spent like about a half hour on it.
Breakdown.
Yeah. Listen, that's what we do here. Okay. I mean, it's still golf at the end of the day. It's not serious golf sometimes, most of the time, but it's still golf. It's still a golf course, even though you don't have a lot of stats on it. You can look at it and just say, okay, it's going to play like this. So, weather update. So not much has changed from what we talked about. I think we talked about it on Saturday. It was impossibly hot.
Yeah. 100 degrees
tournament.
rolling up
but it's
to
going
it.
to cool down a lot. It's actually going to be pretty nice golfing weather. It's going to be mid-70s golfing there. But no rain still, maybe a slight chance rain, but I'm not seeing a big chance of it. Windy though, 15, 25 thermile winds. So this is a different type of year than what they had been playing. So it's a little firmer conditions, little windier, actually a lot windier than the last time. I don't think it's going to be as easy unless they water the golf course, which I wouldn't put past these LIV guys to set up ridiculously easy and water it to make these guys look good.
Yeah.
They don't. Should be more of an up and down game around the green. Definitely will matter more. Probably a lot more missed greens, even though those greens are going to be pretty big. The ability to putt on firm, fast, pretty undulated greens as well. Just kind of a little more of a tougher contest than what the last couple birdie fests were. Obviously, I'm still looking at the Texas golf angle. I think that's a good comp based on agronomy and just the type of golf course and the conditions you see there. So that kind of steered me to how I form my betting card. What about you? Where's your head at with all this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like what we talked about. It's crazy to me how much that's going to change. 100 to 70 degrees. That's such a huge difference. And yeah, I really thought your Texas comps made a hell of a lot of sense. I considered my favorite Texan, but I figured he's just going to be too booze bagged up.
Yeah, I don't think Kokrak is.
Yeah, I can't trust
really
Kokrak,
doing a
man.
lot of this type of stuff anymore.
But what's crazy is I bet him in Vegas. I trusted him in Vegas. Like that was crazy.
But that golf course is like 7,000 yards, driver wedge. Like that's like Kokrak speed. Also, he's also won in Vegas before, so maybe this is his happy place there.
I guess, but yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, I think look, everything we talked about on Saturday, I think made sense. My card, 3 guys, super. I think it'll make sense for you. And then IB's right. Adelaide. So for Adelaide, right? Where would that rank on like places that would be a fun golf tournament to go to?
I mean, it's like the 12th watering hole is basically Scottsdale.
Yeah, but it's Aussie Scottsdale.
It's Aussie Scottsdale. That's true. You don't get the Arizona State douchebags.
Yeah, you don't get the frat boys. And as somebody who always wanted to do what they call a West Pack, right? All the sailors on the West Coast know what I'm talking about. They used to go to Australia, and they said it was the best place on the entire planet for American males. So yeah, I think Australia, at least in my 20s, would have been amazing. At least at Adelaide. Even now, like I just think it would be fun. Like there's no frat bros in Australia, right?
I mean, there's rugby bros, right?
Yeah. Oh, I bet they're a little more violent too.
Yeah, you'd
less
have to be.
though.
Yeah, fair point. I'd give you more of my. Although you know what, you've aged. You know, you definitely lost a little bit of your edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think I have to worry about you going off and us both landing in jail.
No. I'm way too old for jail. I'm good.
Yeah, no one is actually. All right, let's get back to this odds board, though. So, all right, so you got the big 4 again. You got Rahm, Hatton, DeChambeau, Joaquin Niemann. I got one of those guys in my betting card for something. I did not bet any of these guys outright, though. I think the way this tournament is, it's going to be a little more. Their advantages aren't as much as what I think they had like last week, like driver wedge contest, where these guys, you know, just are all. It's a really easy golf course. They're the best players. This one's going to be a little more, I think, unpredictable. So I didn't go with the outright, but I don't think there is a golf course that is John Rahm proof. I mean, seen all of them on LIV. I don't think he's finished outside the top 10 at all in any of these.
Yeah.
Talk about the Texas golf angle. He's been really good in Texas in his career, you know, between Byron Nelson's and Colonials, Austin Country Club. Yeah. Can handle the firm conditions. You know, he's good at getting up and down. So there was a top 10 hanging at minus 150. I thought that was a pretty good price, and I took that. I mean, 54 guys, and I just
because what we say about juice, Steve,
juice only matters when you lose.
That's right.
So, and I also took Cam Smith for a top 10. I mean, considered the outright, but just figure if it's going to be more difficult conditions this year, a little more of an up and down game, he can handle this stuff. I just think the pressure of trying to win, because for the Aussies, like this is their flagship event.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, guys go, the Aussies go nuts for these guys when they won the team event. Win the individual, though, I feel like there just is a lot of pressure there to do it. So did not bet him outright, but I think he's going to have a good showing. I don't really care. Again, I don't care what happened last week in Riyadh. I think there is nothing to draw upon at this thing. So top 10 plus 150 for Cam Smith. I took that.
Fine. Love it. I don't have access to any of this shit, so I only have outrights.
Okay. All right. Then those are my only two positions. So outright market then. Who'd you bet outright? Who's the first guy on your card?
Burmeister. Finished
I
well
also
here.
bet him. I also bet Burmeister too.
Let's go. Finished well. Last time he came out, it was like third or fourth or something like that. Fits the profile real well. I just think he's a good golfer. And he doesn't have the Aussie pressure that the other guys do. So give me that.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a reason why the Aussies and South Africans have been really good at this event. Obviously they've usually been pretty good in Texas.
I thought Byron was Australian forever.
Jesus. Wrong accent there. If he's listening, he's gonna send me a nasty
That's
message.
fine. I've told him that. And then I told him I've been to his country and he was fine.
Okay. But firm, fast, windy conditions. I think this is right up the South Africans' alley. There's a reason why they've been pretty good here. Burmeister has been pretty good in some of the tougher tracks. I mean, one Dural, he did really good at this event last year. He did really good at Troon also. Tough weather conditions. I think he finished in the top 20 that week. So I just like you, I think he's a solid player. He's 35 years old, 36 years old, but I think 20 for golfers, with these, with the guy,
I'm getting longer with age.
Okay. Well, I got him at 26-1 to win this event.
Love it. I got him at 25.
I took him there. Okay. Yeah. All right. So who else in your card?
I stole Lahiri. Why don't you go ahead and make the case for Lahiri?
Okay. Well, I didn't bet him.
You made Kyle bet him and you didn't take him?
I didn't make Kyle bet him. I just mentioned that they were talking about him. I said, he's been pretty good in Texas and he's got a good history here. But I did not bet Anirban Lahiri.
We're talking Kyle right now.
You can tattle on me. It's okay.
All right.
I honestly,
the case you made was great. Why did you bet him?
I just didn't. When it came down to it, I'm like, do I really want to put Anirban Lahiri in my betting card?
Sad.
And I didn't.
Shame.
I didn't.
Shame.
I didn't. So not in my betting card though. Okay. So why don't you make the case for Lahiri then?
I can't. I don't even remember. Can't regurgitate what you said. Played good in Texas. You sold me on when I was reading it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I trust you. Fine.
Yeah. Good in Texas. Pretty good here. So, all right. I did not bet him. I did bet another Texan, though, that we talked about on Saturday show. I bet Patrick Reed at 33-1. Gross? Why is that gross? Because you just don't like Patrick Reed.
Because I don't like Patrick Reed, right?
Okay. So, again, I don't really care what happened in Riyadh last week. Finished top 10 here in 2023. You shit on it on Saturday, but he still can win a pro golf tournament. He won the Hong Kong Open.
Yep.
So I know he can at least get it done. He finished 10th in that Dubai event.
If you take me your member guest, he can win that too.
Okay, well, honestly, I mean, there's probably 12 or 13 really good guys on LIV. Everybody else is probably the same caliber of that Hong Kong event. Events probably most of these guys actually played in that Hong Kong LIV event, so he peed all of them there.
Yeah.
So no, if we're talking about firm, fast conditions, getting up and down, like I've seen Patrick Reed doing these types of tournaments, and I thought 33-1 was pretty good. That I still believe he can still win. So bet him there. Okay. Bet Louis at 28 because I feel like he owes us money from last year.
You can't quit him from last year. Exactly.
I feel like he owes you from last year. Again, the South Africans do pretty well here, do well in these types of tournaments. I don't think he's done being relevant. I don't think he's cooked. Obviously, he was pretty good last year. He had some good events in the DP World Tour last fall as well. Again, I don't really care what happened in Riyadh last week. Did that. And then, like, I know this card's a little overextended, but I'm not betting my full unit allocation on this one. I don't take it that seriously.
What Wolf of Wall Street, fun coupons.
Okay. I bet Brooks at 18-1. And let me make the case.
All right, fine.
Okay. So what I noticed with Brooks in his LIV career when he's won. It kind of comes out of nowhere sometimes. You just don't really know what's going on with him. Remember that Rick Shields video I sent you?
Yeah.
Week ago? Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay.
Seems like a different dude.
Huh?
Seems like a different dude.
Different dude with, yeah, he's a different dude now. Oh, so you got different vibes out of it than I did.
Yeah, like I liked it.
So you think, do you think he's cooked or did you like it?
No, I liked it.
Yeah. So I think what happens is if he's talking to somebody who he actually likes, he opens up is actually pretty good. But if it's the golf media who he doesn't like, he just clams up and is an asshole.
Correct.
So he said a couple nuggets in there that piqued my interest. First, he talked about when he's just playing with his buddies and how like there's nothing on the line. Just plays like a 73, 74, like, 5 handicap. But when there's actually something on the line, that's when he locks in. And this is sacrilegious to say, but like I feel like this is their flagship event in Adelaide. I think it probably would pique his interest to win this thing and do well. He likes this golf course. He says in the video he likes this golf course. And if it's going to be a little bit more difficult conditions, that might pique his interest too. I still think he can get it done there. So, and he played a little, I know I said ignore the Riyadh history or from last week. He did play a little better after the first round. Maybe he just was kind of rounding into shape and he's ready to go for this week. So good in Texas as well. A lot of good results in that state in his career. So I know he can handle these types of conditions. He finished top 10 there last year. So I bet him at 18-1 too.
Sure.
Okay. Over Anirban Lahiri. That was the choice. Brooks Koepka or Anirban Lahiri.
Shame. I can't wait for me and Kyle to be like, fuck you. We got our Lahiri tickets.
You know what? If he wins, I will happily congratulate you guys.
And I bet Matt Jones.
You did. What, 150 to 1?
110, baby. 110. That's all I could get. I don't even care.
All
okay.
right.
One of the best weekends of my entire life. I can afford to bet him here. It's not playing bad either, so why not? And he's an older guy, so he won't give a shit. You know what I mean? I feel like he doesn't have any pressure.
Yeah. I mean, good Texas history. If Brendan Steele could win here, Matt Jones could definitely
come on, baby. 100-1. Give it to
all
me
right.
again,
Speaking
baby.
of which, let's talk about the team standings though. So we made the generational wealth bet last week with Legion 13.
Yeah.
We're down to about 150 plus 155 now, as we predicted. You're still betting them?
Still free money.
Okay, I'm not as keen on them this week.
Why?
Okay, so
you just made a case for John Rahm.
No. Well, John Rahm, I think, is a good golfer. So here's the problem. So it comes down. The key with Legion 13 is Surratt and McKibben. Okay. Surratt at these types of tracks where you take the driver out of his hands and it's not like this American style driver wedge contest, he really struggled last year. And I don't know how good he's going to be in this type of tournament this week. And McKibben, I don't really have a good reference point of any Australian stuff. I do have burnt in my head, though, if we're talking about short game. There was a DP World Tour fails video where McKibben chipped it into the water 3 straight times. That's not good. I don't think Hatton played all that good in this event last year either. So I
feel like Hatton just he understands the Australian people and might get into it a little bit too much.
Maybe. What did Hatton do this event last year? Yeah, T14. Okay, so I'm good, but I mean, so I'm not as
take half the winnings and put it on it this week, just in case you're not. Don't press. Just take half.
No, I did not bet them in the team standings this week. Okay, I went a different direction. I think we're going to see a similar situation as last year, where the guys are in the playoffs. But I just think these two types of teams have a history of doing well, not just in this event, but these types of events, these course conditions. So Ripper plus 400 and Stingers.
I like that better.
And Stingers plus 1400.
Who's on the Stingers?
The South African team.
So Burmeister,
Louis, Schwartzel, Grace.
Chucky 3 stakes. Brendan Grace. I would never put my money on fucking Brendan Grace.
So Grace is the wild card here.
Yeah, because he's an asshole and he sucks at golf.
And he sucks. But if I think Schwartzel can play. Schwartzel's finished top 10 in both the events here.
Yeah, he's always a sneaky Masters DFS play.
Yeah, so if Grace can show a little bit, and I obviously have faith in Louis and Burmester this week.
Give me the Rippers 4-1. You want to do a charity bet on that?
No, I bet both. So
okay.
yeah, I'm only looking to like win like 3 units. I'm not trying to like win anything huge. So I plus 400 for the Rippers, plus 1400 for the Stingers. Those are my 2 team events instead of going back to low Legion 13, who I just single bolded for less than I should have last week.
Less than you should have. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all right, that's my live bets.
All right. Well, that's it. Yeah, we'll be back Sunday night for next week's course preview and recap.
Do you even know where they're playing next week?
We are playing.
We're going to the depressing part of the schedule.
Yeah, is it? It's not Mexico next week. That's 2 weeks, right?
It's Mexico next week.
Oh, fuck. I thought that was 2 weeks.
No, we make a quick stop in Mexico and then we head to Florida.
That's fine. That's fine. Florida's week's coming.
Next week is going to suck.
Hey, man, still be money made in shitty tournaments, sir.
That's
As we've
true.
always said, we covered the fall swing for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, come to the Discord. Steve will have some weather tips for some showdown on Thursday. I will squeeze it out of him whether he likes it or not. And yeah, come for our betting cards. Just come for the Discord, man. It's a great place to be. It's worth the money. A bunch of good dudes in there chopping it up and giving out good information and having a good time. And yeah, other than that, it is. Yeah, it's Genesis week. I think it'll be a good week, man. No cut, but I mean, there's a cut, but it's not a cut. So at least we'll have a fake cut.
Yeah, just like fake Riyadh Golf Club architect Duncan Thompson.
Yeah,
It's called the Duncan
Guy
Thompson
doesn't
cut. Yeah, exactly.
the Duncan. That's what we should call it, the Duncan Thompson cut. But all right, well, listen, everybody have a good week. Come join us on Discord. Go subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Talk to you boys next week.